While Lightroom doesn't natively support the ability to assemble composite panoramas, it does allow you to tap into Photoshop for this purpose. In this lesson, we'll see how to create a composite panoramic image with Photoshop using images that are being managed by Lightroom. In this case, I have a collection that contains only the frames from a single composite panorama. Before I can send these images to Photoshop, I need to select all of them. So I'll click on the first image on the film strip and then hold the Shift key and click on the last image. Now that I have all of the frames in my composite panorama selected, I can choose Photo, Edit In, and then Merge to Panorama in Photoshop. I could also access this option by right-clicking on any of the images or on the Macintosh, control-clicking, and choosing Edit In, Merge to Panorama in Photoshop from the pop-up menu. When I choose this option, the images will be sent over to Photoshop. If Photoshop was not already running, it would be launched automatically. Note that all the images I had selected in Lightroom are now listed as files to be processed by the Photo Merge feature of Photoshop. By the way, for purposes of this lesson, I've created low-resolution JPEG images just so the process will go a little bit faster, but you can most certainly use this process with RAW captures or any other image that's supported by Lightroom. You can choose the particular type of panorama you're creating in the Layout section on the left side of the Photo Merge dialog. When in doubt, you can always use the Auto option, which actually works quite well for the vast majority of images you'll process. There's no need to change anything about the source files because that was handled automatically by Lightroom. Naturally, we want to blend the images together. If you're concerned about vignette, you could certainly turn on the Vignette Removal checkbox. And you can also apply geometric distortion correction, which is particularly helpful if there are buildings included in your panoramic image. Once you're happy with the settings, you can simply click OK. Photoshop will then get to work assembling the composite panorama. The first step is to create a multi-layered document that contains all of the frames in your panorama. Then those individual image layers will be aligned and layer masks will be created in order to blend the final image. Once the processing is complete, you can choose File, Save to update the result, and then File, Close to close this image. You can then switch back to Lightroom, and as you can see, the final panoramic image has been added to the current collection. At this point, I can continue optimizing the image with Lightroom. For example, at the very least, I'll need to crop this image since it was a handheld composite panorama and thus wasn't exactly perfectly aligned. I can also apply any adjustments I'd like using the Develop module. For example, I might increase the vibrance just a little bit and bring up the blacks just to enhance contrast a little bit, or any other adjustments I'd like to apply. As you can see, after assembling a composite panorama in Photoshop and bringing the resulting image back into Lightroom, you can continue to manage, optimize, and share that image using all the tools within Lightroom.